Hello everyone, Meteorologist Carly Smith here. We are chatting live. I am updating the website, publishing everything that you need to know about all the stormy weather. So thank you everyone for joining. Hopefully we get more people, share this, let them know what's going on, and we'll have everyone prepared. So I'm gonna lower the volume because I know it's working. To learn more about the risk. So we're going to talk about the risk for thunderstorms tonight. Which is why you saw this graphic, Thursday morning storms. So now I'm going to bring all the numbers back and get rid of this text, and we'll just go through Futurecast because that seems like the easiest thing to do right now for everyone that's joined. So right here we have just a chance for some isolated rain, more so kind of misty, gloomy weather throughout the day today. That's going to be ahead of an upper level disturbance that moves in, so kind of a shortwave trough that is going to move in overnight. So Thursday, it's looking like after midnight, particularly around 3 a.m. is when we're going to start to see that storm chance risk going up. So you'll see that right around 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., possibly through about the lunch hour. Then as we head into Thursday afternoon, so this model has been trying to have some secondary bursts of energy moving through, but I think that's more so going to be if we get some outflow boundaries that kind of develop further south to this activity that's going to be to our north, but it's more so going to be Houston that sees the greater risk for some stronger storms heading into Friday morning. Now that's not to say we could see a risk for some of these storms into Friday morning. I think we'll more so see clearing skies Thursday into Friday, a very low risk for some storms heading into our Friday morning. So yeah, let me close this out. We'll get back to my full complete rundown. So here's a look right now at your day planner. So what we are going to see are temperatures that are going to be in the 60s and 70s pretty much all day long. This computer is slow to load, and I hate that because now we have this ugly graphic that I didn't want to leave frozen on the computer. Maybe if I close it, no, it's not gonna make it any better. In fact, now it's not responding. We might have to close the whole program down, which is a ball. So any moisture tonight, is that what you're asking, Elver? Thanks for watching again. So anyway, I think the computer is working now. We don't want to save any changes. Oh, look, a ship passing by, one of the tankers. So right now it's 61 degrees. I really think we may stay in the low 60s. Honestly, I don't know if we're going to make it to that 69 degrees, but regardless, we're going to be in the mid to upper 60s all day long. Easterly winds as well shifting out of the east, and then that's when our moisture content is going to go up. So something that I was working on before this little live update. Well, first let's look at the big picture. So we'll go to the satellite. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Any hail in the forecast, there's a low risk for hail, Randy. That timing will be after 3 a.m. So here's your current temperatures. Here's what's going on. High pressure has moved over Louisiana, and that high pressure is essentially bringing up our moisture out of the Gulf at the surface. However, in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we also have that low we've been talking about, that upper level low that is continuing to bring up Pacific moisture also. Those moisture paths will be crossing. We'll have easterly southeast winds later on this afternoon, and we'll have the upper level winds going this way. When they cross, we get shear. Shear can help storms develop, especially if we also have CAPE, which is convective available potential energy, which we're going to see more of later on today and overnight. And additionally, if we get a front. And so essentially we're going to have, it's not necessarily going to be a front, but it's going to work very similar to a front. We're going to have a shortwave trough that kind of moves through, a burst of energy per se around this upper level low. So if you've been watching First Edition or Alan Holt in the evenings, regardless what you've been watching, you've probably seen us use this red and yellow graphic. which is our atmospheric energy and the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. I don't know why this is only saying like one person is watching, so I hope more people join. But regardless, thankful for y'all. And anyway, this computer is so slow today. Nothing is really working in my favor today. I've been so scatterbrained. The computer is moving slow. I'm working on a special story that I don't know when it will air. So we've just got a lot going on. My brain is in 1,000 different places, and this computer is so slow, so it allows my brain to think about all the million places that it's in. But yeah, we basically do have a chance for some hail. Hail and high wind are going to be our biggest threats. So I wish that I started with this little headline for anyone that watches this later. Hey, Abigail, if you're watching, please comment yes. Okay, so I think that the little Facebook indicator is just off. But hello, everyone. Letitia, Abigail, Rebecca. Good morning, Justin. Again, I don't know why this computer is being so slow. I'm not happy about it. I have a lot to talk about, and I want you to be able to see the graphics, not just hear me ramble on. Okay, so here we go. Here's our vorticity, right? So I've been showing this a lot on First Edition. Okay, let's back it up. So right now, through the afternoon, we just get this yellow, which is kind of weak. But what we're going to have right here, 4:30 a.m., that time's pretty much with the same, or 4:30 a.m., that's when our mid-levels have the energy. So we've got energy in our mid-levels, which at the surface is going to come along with that surface trough, or essentially it's going to work like an area of low pressure and a warm front that pushes north. That's why overnight, some fun facts, overnight tonight, what we are going to see is our temperatures staying the same. We're not really going to drop our temperatures. In fact, they may even warm up a few degrees as we head into Thursday morning, even with thunderstorms and rain in the forecast. So you're going to see those thunderstorms developing essentially along that warm front with that trough that's also moving through the region. This area of low pressure sticks around and kind of develops a weak cold front that's going to push all the energy out of our area. And so something that times out really nicely with this. So again, this is going to be about 4, so after 3 a.m., through about we'll call it noon, because the latest model update of this model run has it lasting through about noon. So 3 a.m. to noon, we get a chance for those storms. Yes, 6 a.m. is in the target zone at Naval Air Station Corpus Christi for the chance for some thunderstorms in the area. Now, with that being said, I don't think these storms are going to be any worse than what we saw over the weekend. So they shouldn't be any worse than what we saw over the weekend, but we're talking a brief heavy rainfall, lightning, as well as a chance for a little bit of hail in the region as well. So what we're seeing with this little trough, or this weak area of low pressure that moves in, is we are going to see our water, our precipitable water, it's still fairly low, but it does go up right at that same time. So look, this is going to be this afternoon, then boom, as that low moves in, 7 a.m., so this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So as that low and that warm front lift north, we get the light green, which is enough moisture for some disturbance, especially when you have the transition from green to dry, so moist to dry. Where those merge, you can get thunderstorms that develop. And that's what we're looking at tomorrow morning, really between about 3 a.m. and noon. Then we get the drier air that moves in, and once we get that drier air in place, we're not going to get any storms, so we don't have to worry about that. Something else to look at is CAPE, that convective available potential energy. Now again, this doesn't look any worse or stronger than the situation we had over the weekend. But with that being said, we see the CAPE increasing tonight as that low pressure moves up out of the south. And then so about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, noon. Now this keeps some CAPE in the area, but if our air is too dry, we're not going to see thunderstorms again. But this, like I mentioned, keeps CAPE in the area, so we're in that, it's low, so we're in the greens and the blues versus the oranges and the reds, which is always a good thing when it comes to severe weather, but it's high enough for the potential for those storms to be there. By the time we get to Friday, we lose all of our CAPE, and we're not worried about anything really in the region. This evening at 6 p.m. There's a very low chance if we see any rain today, it's going to be more that misty, just like rain, right? So that rain we can show you on Futurecast. So 6 p.m. This model's overdoing it because I don't think it's, let me see. Surface maps. Okay, so we do have two little dots through Corpus Christi right now. So it does look like there's some misty drizzle in the region that could be causing some of the rain, which is like what we're seeing on this model. So yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 6 p.m. Here we have it. 6 p.m. there is a chance for mostly just some light rain. I'm not expecting lightning at 6 p.m. Any risk of lightning is going to be overnight. So this is a different model, which doesn't look as scary as the one I showed you earlier, but it has more activity around noon to 3 p.m. tomorrow. So the timing is all dependent on the upper level energy, unfortunately, which is hard to nail down at the surface level. If they're not in agreement, we're gonna wind up with nothing, essentially. But with that being said, I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think once we get into tomorrow evening, our risk of storms goes much further down. Now, with that being said, Thursday night into Friday, the target zone that I'm seeing is going to be Houston for any risk of storms heading into Friday morning. Now, if this low pushes a little further south or is delayed a little bit off to the west, we could become the target zone for another round of storms for Friday morning as well. So it's a really tough call. It does look like there is a good chance for kickball games or any outdoor activities at 6 p.m. this evening to have a little bit of light rain, not tracking thunderstorms though, until we get to tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning's our biggest thunderstorm risk. Here is our headlines that I'm gonna leave you guys on. Hold on, we didn't want to play the open. Here's the headlines that I'm gonna leave you with. Today, mostly just some scattered light rainfall, misty kind of weather. Stormy conditions Thursday morning. We are going to be warmer with more sunshine into the weekend. We will focus on that forecast once we get past the stormy weather tomorrow. So I want to get you through tomorrow and that risk of severe weather. We are under a marginal risk. You might see this graphic floating around the internet. I said I was going to leave you with that one, but that's a lie. We've got one more thing to talk about. So hang in here with me. Thank you, Abigail, for watching, and Aline and Bob as well. Thank you so much. So isolated severe storms, yes, they're going to be possible in the green area. This is mostly tonight into Thursday morning. Our gusts around 60 miles per hour, our hail around an inch. That is going to be our greatest concern anytime after 3 a.m. into the morning hours tomorrow. Isolated severe risk, limited coverage, which means not everyone's going to see this risk, but for the most part, it's looking to be overnight and into Thursday morning. As I mentioned, Thursday into Friday morning, that shifts closer to Houston, and then by Friday, we're done with the severe weather as the drier air filters into place. So with that drier air, we should see some sunshine on Friday and Saturday. This is going to be our 7-day forecast. Don't forget, you can also follow, interact with me, send me some messages if you have any specific questions on any of my social media pages. Just search Carly Smith WX. Thanks again, y'all, and have a wonderful Wednesday.